Welcome back to our Leaders in Customer Loyalty series. It's a Thursday, so another edition of our Brand Stories is on deck. It's great having you with us every Thursday. I'm looking forward to today's discussion. Today, we are going to be focusing on beauty, the ever and rapidly changing beauty retail industry. Founded in France in the 1960s, Sephora was one of the original brands to pioneer the open selling concept. They opened their first US store in New York City and have continued to set the pace, define direction, and build deep emotional connections with customers, all within the beauty industry. The way people engage with beauty continues to evolve, driven by the desire to be their best selves. Sephora has remained at the forefront. Their customer loyalty program, aptly named Beauty Insider, launched in 2007 and has continued to adapt to meet the ever diversifying and ever changing and rapidly evolving customer base. With consumers engaging across a wide variety of beauty brands and channels, Sephora remains committed to delivering personalized experiences and staying top of mind. Their passion for customer loyalty is evident in how they evolve the program, expand product offerings, and refine the brand to meet the expectations of today's beauty consumers. In this episode, we're going to hear from Emmy Brown Berlind. She's a Senior Vice President and General Manager of Loyalty at Sephora. Emmy, thank you very much for taking the time to join us today. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Absolutely. Looking forward to the discussion. Always interested in talking to smart people about customer loyalty, which should be the most important facet of marketing. So this should be a great discussion. For those who may not be familiar, and I'm sure most everyone is, can you give us a brief introduction to Sephora? How was the company started?
Of course, yeah. So Sephora was founded in France in the late 1960s with a very innovative open selling concept. At the time, you could really only get prestige beauty products in department stores. You had to go to different counters to be able to try different brands and different products. And so this open selling concept was really innovative in allowing people to browse and try whatever products they wanted without kind of needing to talk to a salesperson. And so today, Sephora is the leading prestige beauty retailer in North America with more than 700 stores across US and Canada, plus a very vibrant online and app shopping experience. We came to the US in 1998 with our first store in Soho in New York City. And the open selling concept was kind of very well regarded, and people who shopped there loved that experience. But back then, few people knew who we were. And many brands didn't want to work with us as a kind of a newcomer. So we really built our business on creativity, differentiation, and the belief that beauty should be fun and inclusive. And that commitment to that discovery process is still at the heart of who we are today, and continues to shape how Sephora connects with its clients.
Okay, excellent. And you look at the great success that Sephora has had, what are a couple key things that kind of contributed to that success?
Well, I think, all the amazing brands that Sephora has incubated and developed over the years is obviously a huge part of why the brand has been, how we've been successful as a retailer. And then also I would, say that the launch of our Beauty Insider program in 2007 was part of a key differentiation that we were able to introduce to the market then that led to a lot of loyalty with our clients and continued to, support the growth of the business.
Okay. You were kind of appointed Senior Vice President in 2023. Can you tell us a little bit more about the new role, kind of what you do as kind of the general manager of loyalty at Sephora, which is an awesome title. And also would love to know more about how you got into the role. How'd you get into customer loyalty? It's not something that everyone always focuses on as a career, but those who do obviously have a deep passion for it. So would love to know a couple things.
Yeah, sure. So, I stepped into this role as SVP in 2023. And so I oversee our Beauty Insider loyalty program, our omni-channel promotions that we run, because, most of those promotions, you need to be a Beauty Insider to participate in them, the Sephora credit card program, and our sampling strategy. So And my focus is really on continuing to grow our more than 44 million member base, and finding new and innovative ways to keep that community engaged, and also continuing to have the program be exciting so that new people want to join. I joined Sephora in 2015, and I've been really lucky enough to work a lot across a lot of different parts of the business, from starting, focusing on sampling programs, and then leading our social organic content strategy, and debuting the first Sephora Squad, our influencer program. And each role that I've had has given me like a deeper connection to the Sephora client and how to connect with them to make sure that we're keeping Sephora top of mind. And so that's why this role really appealed to me, is to really lead the thinking on how to deepen that connection, make sure that people stay engaged and excited about Sephora. So that's really what drives me and why I was really interested in stepping into this role.
That's awesome. And, Loyalty360 has a pretty significant member community. We meet, talk about different challenges and opportunities in customer loyalty, how it's viewed within the organization, how customers view it. You talk about keeping your customers engaged. Can you talk about a little bit more what that means and kind of how that challenge presents itself and how Sephora is in kind of addressing it?
Yeah, I mean, I think we want to make sure that we're continuing to foster like an emotional connection with our clients, outside of just kind of like the traditional earning points as part of the loyalty program. So I think the way that we do that is we are continually trying to elevate the customer experience, and making sure that our program is increasingly personalized, because it really, what we really feel is important is that, loyalty is about making the person feel like we know you, and kind of understand what you want from us, and then providing access to important benefits. So our customers, we know they value convenience. They want to feel like they're getting a value from the program, and also having experiences that feel tailored to them. So I think that's what we try to kind of always combine, is how are we as part of the program delivering this kind of combination of value, convenience, and experiences that is uniquely tied to Sephora, that then will hopefully keep on bringing clients back.
Okay. Yeah, you talked a little bit about personalization, a personalized approach. You have obviously a great kind of brand, lots of emotional connection to the brand. When you look at elevating the customer experience, what are you doing with regard to kind of multi-channel or looking at the kind of the retail industry holistically? Because there are some changes within the industry, correct? How individuals are buying from brands and kind of the beauty and so how are you looking at the changes and still focusing on the personalization?
Yeah, I mean, I think what we're trying to do in terms of how people shop is making sure that they have a variety of options that they can choose from. So we're leaning into these omni-channel services such as same day delivery or buy online or pick up in store, and allowing that people or people would want to have it shipped to them. And a key part of one of the benefits of our program is that if you're a Beauty Insider member, you can get free shipping with no minimum. So we're trying to make sure that we're offering our clients all the different ways they want to be able to shop with us to make it as frictionless as possible. And that also includes, how they want to pay. So whether it's a Sephora credit card, Sephora gift cards, which are also kind of a popular gift item, and then launching new payment methods like Venmo. So we're trying to make sure as a company that, that she's being given as much flexibility in as her experience, in addition to offering, personalization in terms of showing relevant promotional offers to our clients when they're shopping our site based upon, their preferences in the past. So things like that all combine together in terms of how we're making the experience as kind of tailored to the client as we possibly can.
You mentioned kind of how people want to pay. It was a interesting discussion we had with some members of Loyalty360 last week, about buy now, pay later, and how that's taking off in retail, right? You would never think that buying a 10.99 or 29.99 piece of lipstick would actually be something you put on a buy now, pay later, but it's something that it's taking off. Is that something you're seeing as well?
Absolutely, yes. I mean, we have a number of buy now, pay later options available to our clients, and we definitely have seen the usage of those increase quite a bit. And I think, again, it's to the point of, sometimes you want to make a larger purchase, and then that you want to stretch those payments over a number of months. And I think that's just part of kind of what we're trying to offer in terms of, making sure we're staying relevant in the industry and, meeting her and our clients where they want to be and how they want to pay.
Yeah, that's definitely kind of very consistent theme over the last few years, meeting them, the customer, male, female, whoever may be in the channel they want to
Exactly.
engage in, and also with the message and the offer and the relevance that many brands struggle with. But obviously, you guys do an amazing job. Well, when you look at value, it's a big discussion right now within the community. How does the organization find value in the program? Do the customers find value in the program? Are they looking for different value, as in discounts or offers, to kind of help them get through maybe some of this economic uncertainty? What are you seeing around value and maybe some economic kind of headwinds that may be presenting themselves? Is that something you're hearing more from your customers about, this the whole idea of value?
Yes, we definitely are. I think we've known for a number of years that value is extremely important to our customers. And so we have tried to, deliver that value in a variety of ways. So and we try to make sure that that value is really integrated into the Beauty Insider offering. So one thing I mentioned earlier is the value of free shipping with no minimum. We know that's something that is extremely valuable to our clients. And then again, like offering those omni convenience options like buy online, pick up in store.
Yep.
It's also kind of another way to offer value. But then we're also trying to offer value in gamified experiences as well, so that we have these Beauty Insider challenges that clients can, take actions and then they earn extra points to be able to use for redeeming in the rewards bazaar, or if they've completed all the actions in the challenge, they have enough points that they are able to use those points for $10 off on a subsequent purchase. And so we are trying to make sure that it becomes easier for people to access the value that already exists in the program by offering these new ways for them to earn points. The one thing that we are also working on is, we have a lot of different ways that people can get value out of our program, redeeming for samples, redeeming their points for other rewards, and making sure that people are aware of all those ways that they can deliver value is definitely something that we're working really hard on right now. So that because we know it's so important to people.
Yeah, and it's interesting. We just had a call with one of our members, and we were talking about value, but also kind of simplicity in the program, right? So, making sure that it resonates with the customers and they can understand the kind of the different reward options that they have, but also doing it in a way that, as you mentioned earlier, right channel, right time, right
Mhm.
content. So, I think there's kind of a balance to that, I would assume, correct?
Yeah, that's definitely true. And I think also making something that's easy to explain by our beauty advisors in the store too is an important element that we think about also. So that, we're appropriately messaging the benefits of the program in a way that people can understand easily, if they read it online or if they just are talked to about it in a live interaction too.
Absolutely. So when you look at some of the changes, obviously you can earn points in different ways for non-transactional behavior, which is good because it keeps them engaged with the brand, allows them to meet that reward threshold a little earlier. When you look at some of the changing behaviors, beauty, economic, whatever it may be, how do you kind of keep ahead of these shifting or potentially shifting behaviors on the customer side?
Well, I mean, I think that we're constantly listening to our clients in terms of what they want from us. And we are trying to evolve and adjust based upon what they're telling us, because really our clients are really at the center of everything we do. So that we're always trying to listen to them, like, conduct research to be able to evolve the program. I think one of the things that we've also really found is that to to stay ahead of what our most valuable clients are, which are Rouge clients.
Yep.
And they're extremely important to us. And so we know that, and they also know that they expect more from us because of the loyalty they've shown to us. And so, as some of the things that we've done to kind of continue to stay ahead and meet their needs are, things like introducing the Rouge celebration event that we did a couple of weeks, like last weekend, or like maybe 10 days ago now. And we had it last year. We heard feedback from our clients, and so then we added additional things this year. We added a points multiplier over the weekend that they could participate in. We had a limited edition Dagny Dover phone sling bag with a minimum purchase. But we also offered like more richness in the credit card rewards as well, 12% back, so that our Rouges could kind of combine all of these different great benefits over the weekend to kind of show that we appreciate them and that we value all of their, loyalty to us. In addition to kind of offering, Rouge only product drops, which we know that they're very excited about, and special experiences like virtual master classes with some of our brand founders. So
That's
that
awesome.
all of those things together, I think we built upon what we did last year and learned and improved. And so that's really how we stay ahead, is because we're always trying to think about and listen and learn from what our clients are telling us.
When you look at kind of the aspirational perks, you talked about the higher level tiers and the Rouge tier, more rewarding. There's a balance with that as well, right? Aspirational, everyone wants to get people to kind of move up the different tiers. Some brands are seeing kind of some tier malaise in the higher tiers, right? And kind of what can they do? Some of that comes out of COVID, right? When they weren't meeting the tiers, you extended them. And it's a pretty big discussion right now. But how do you make sure that the tiers work? Because that's a pretty significant challenge for brands right now, is making sure these tiers are aligned, getting back to that value discussion, getting back to that alignment discussion. How do you do that with such a plum?
I think that we are always making sure that there's elements to the program that are accessible for everyone, so
Yep.
that so that becomes a reason to join the program in the first place. And that first kind of entry point that we know is really, really important to that is actually the birthday gift. And so I think if like talking about how we structured that program actually, goes to your question actually quite directly, because what we have a birthday gift that's available to everyone, that are these amazing products from the
Yep.
brands that we sell. And then we have a special selection of birthday gifts that are only available to our VIB and Rouge clients. Again, so we're making sure that there's this balance between what's available for everyone, but then making sure that our Rouges and VIB clients are know that we value their loyalty, we value kind of the extra stuff that we know that they want, by offering them this kind of special portion of the birthday gift program that only they can redeem for it in the quarter that it's available. So that's, I think, an example of how we try to balance it, by having things that are always kind of they're graduated, so that there's something that's available to everybody, but then it becomes additions to that benefit then benefit the higher tiers. Hope that
Absolutely.
answered your question.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's great. I think that's it's kind of a strong response. Kind of looking at customers. And you even mentioned when you talked about listening to your customers, right? And using that to shape kind of the program, the value of the program, the direction of the program. You've evolved the program pretty significantly over the years. You talked about some of those changes earlier, but brands often don't use feedback in a way to drive some of that change, right? It's oftentimes given lip service with regard, oh, we're listening to our customers, right? We're changing, we're doing things differently, but oftentimes it's not, and oftentimes yeah, the customers may be giving you feedback or the brands may be receiving feedback that they're not actioning on or even responding to. So I think that's imperative. You guys, as a brand, do a pretty solid job with regard to, evolving the program. It's an award-winning program, listening to the customers. What is the key there? How are you doing that so well? And when you listen to and evolve the program based on feedback.
I mean, I think the key is being willing to take action against something that people are telling you.
Yeah.
I think, the another example of listening to that feedback is that we recently we launched the ability to redeem 500 points for $10 off in like 2000 in 2021, I believe it was.
Yeah.
And and we heard after since that was launched that people that as like our more loyal clients, especially our Rouges, wanted to be able to stack that, to be able to, use more points to then get a greater discount. And so this year we launched that ability for Rouges to have them be able to use 1,000 points or $20 off. Again, to kind of taking that feedback and being willing to take that action, I think is key to being able to evolve and stay relevant is kind of making sure that the organization is ready to incorporate what you're hearing and
Right.
then make the changes that are required.
Excellent. And you talked about it a little bit. The beauty industry, retail in general is changing, right? From expectations to how you engage with it, free shipping potentially, but different payment mechanisms. You talked kind of how customers are changing. Where do you see it going forward? How do you see kind of the beauty industry, the retail industry continuing to change and evolve?
I mean, I think obviously, the how we think about using AI in beauty is definitely going to be a big change
Yep.
on the horizon. One of the ways that Sephora has been really successfully incorporating that is in a tool that we have called the Skin Scan, which combines a tool that was called Color IQ with a digital skincare scan. So you're able to use this tool in our stores and then it shade matches you so you know exactly what shade of foundation you should get, but then also gives you a tailored product recommendation based upon your skin type too. And so that not only enables a more personalized experience, but it's using this intelligence then to help really guide the purchase process for our clients. Because what we also have heard is that sometimes beauty can feel a little bit overwhelming because there's so many different options available to you. So this is like using this AI powered tool is a great way to ensure that people are being able to kind of be better guided in a very, very personalized way, to create more convenience for the client, but then also really kind of an inclusive, accurate beauty experience.
Okay. And AI is obviously something that's at the top of mind for all brands. And we do a state of customer loyalty paper every year, research paper of our members. I'll send that to you. But
Yeah.
AI, it seems like recently it's definitely evolving. Brands have kind of an approach, they have a perspective. That there's definitely some challenges with regard to anonymizing data. Do you use a clean room process to kind of run the platform, or using a chat, or more of a kind of traditionally known AI platform, or can you build it out yourselves? Access to that data is obviously very important, especially with 44 million highly engaged customers. You don't want a challenge or kind of a breach in any way, shape, or form. When you look at AI, how do you see that going forward? You talked about it a little bit. Are there challenges or opportunities you see with AI, either from a privacy perspective, or is it going to get the message right, which is something we hear pretty consistently?
Yeah, I mean, I think that Sephora is very carefully and strategically thinking about how we want to incorporate AI into the beauty journey. And I think it's still super early days, but the privacy of our clients and making sure that the results that they're getting is as accurate and correct is very, very important to us. And so we are making sure that any development we do kind of ties back to that core tenet of inclusivity and being able to accurately help them find whatever beauty they want to find. So that I think is kind of our North Star overall.
That's awesome. When you look at the program holistically, what are two or three things you're most proud of with regard to the program?
I mean, first, I would say the birthday gift program is a huge undertaking every year to be able to offer amazing gifts. And I personally always love redeeming my birthday gift each year. And I think also the variety of options available to be redeemed in the Rewards Bazaar is so
Yep.
fun just to be able use that to be able to discover your next favorite product. We hear that a lot from our clients that they love redeeming their points just to be able to try a new product to see if they're going to want to buy the full size in the future. And then lastly, I would say, our biannual savings events that we have twice each year, just being able to have this amazing discount available for our beauty insiders, to be able to have them, use them for gifts or use them to kind of, buy something they've been hoping to be able to buy, and unlocking that amazing, kind of better access to all of the brands that we offer is also something that's a huge cross-functional effort across the whole organization that I'm really proud of, excited that we are continue to be able to offer it for our clients.
And the last question, somewhat self-serving. What can Loyalty 360 do to help you and your team with your customer loyalty, program, customer loyalty journey?
I mean, I think that the role that you play with bringing together loyalty leaders across the industry and being enabling, us to share insights and best practices is a huge help to us, and kind of how we learn about new ways of thinking around loyalty. And so, for Sephora, being part of that community really helps us stay informed and be on top of emerging trends, and that's really critical as we continue to wanting to evolve and improve our program. And so I'm really looking forward to staying engaged with Loyalty 360 and continuing to learn from other leaders to deliver a truly exceptional experience for our clients.
That's awesome. Well, now we have the wonderful quick fire round of questions. We'd like to keep them to a short phrase or a couple of words.
Okay.
What is your favorite word?
This is a little bit of a strange one, but it's crepuscular.
Oh, I don't know that one. What does that mean?
It means it's animals that tend to hunt at dawn and dusk, which I think is just kind of it's just a fun word to say. So I think and it's a little bit of a um anyway, that's one of my favorite words.
No, yeah, I didn't have it, but that's good. I like using big words as well. What is your least favorite word that others use?
I don't know if this isn't like a word, but I never am like I'm kind of frustrated when people say it is what it is, because that is a little bit of a defeatist statement in my opinion. And as I mentioned, like Sephora is all about creativity and innovation and disruptive, and I think we believe there's always a solution to a problem. So I don't love when people just say it is what it is.
Okay. Well, I was gonna make a joke and say it, but I won't. What excites you?
Um, I love solving problems, so it
Okay.
excites me to help, you know, finding something that might be a problem or issue for our clients and figuring out how do we deliver a solution to that. Like that's always very exciting to me.
Okay. And what do you find tiresome?
Um, I think, things that are overly um things that seem tedious that are kind of rote and you happen again and again and again, like that's something that doesn't excite me very much.
Okay. Me either. Uniqueness is always awesome, or at least more invigorating.
Yeah.
Is there a book that you've read that you're a big fan of that you like to recommend to colleagues?
Um, I love, I think Good to Great is a great book.
Okay.
Um, and so I always love that book. So that's one that I think I've recommended a number of times.
Okay. Is there a profession other than one that you currently have that you would maybe like to attempt?
Maybe like teaching in the future. A lot of my husband's family are teachers, and that's something that, I think it would be fun, like it'd be really interesting to see if I could help other people in that way in the future.
Okay. I mean, is there something that you enjoy doing, a passion, a hobby that you don't often get as much time to do?
I love singing, so I've always loved singing all my life, and so I would love, and I wish that I had more time to sing with others. I was in an a cappella group in college, and so
Oh,
I'd
wow.
love to be able to sing more, I guess.
Okay. Who inspired you to become the person you are today?
My grandfather was very inspirational for me, the way that he lived his life, and he was very dedicated to kind of thinking bigger picture than just himself.
Yeah.
And so that's definitely been an inspiration for me.
That's awesome. That's mine as well. What do you typically think about at the end of the day?
What's going to happen tomorrow is mostly what I'm thinking ahead. That's
Okay.
and so as a working mother, there's always like the next thing you have to do.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And last question, how do you want to be remembered by your friends and family?
Someone who lived their life with empathy and was loving and I guess loved by others.
That's awesome. Well, Emmy, thank you very much for taking the time to speak with us today. It was a pleasure speaking with you. It's always good to see someone who has great passion for the industry and their job and their customers. We often don't always get that. And so it definitely was resonant with you. So thank you very much for being an inspiration.
Thank you so much for having me. It was really great to talk with you.
Absolutely. And thank you everyone for listening. Make sure you join us back every Thursday for the next edition of our Leaders in Customer Loyalty series. Until then, have a wonderful day.